Okay, let's get going. It's amazing how everybody is sitting in the same seat every time. I like that, actually. Creatures of habit. Okay. All right, guys. Before we jump into today's topic, and thank you for not being late for the time management class. I think that's good. And I'm going to explain to you today why it is that realtors have a time management problem. It's actually not your fault, but I'll show you how to fix it today. Matter of fact, after today, you'll never struggle with time management ever again. And as I explain to you today why it's the case that we struggle with time management, you're going to see that up until now, you've been running in water through your career. And so running in water up your waist, that's challenging, yes? Yeah. And so after today, you won't do that anymore. Matter of fact, I talk with folks, realtors all the time, and a guy was telling me yesterday, the funny thing is, I've been in real estate for 2 years. I'm always late for things. And so, but before real estate, I was a plant manager, and I opened the plant up. So he was a very responsible person. I think that might be a bit loud, actually. Yeah. So, because I can hear me, and I don't want that. So, it's loud here. And so, I showed him and explained to him why it is that he possessed time management skills until he became a realtor. And then he went out the window. And he went, oh, you're totally correct on that. And then he fixed it. You'll never have that problem again, ever. And so, just as an idea here, or a thought, I did my first seminar in March 1996, so 21 years ago. And I do now about 350 seminars a year. So I don't know how many thousands of seminars I've done. And how many seminars of those thousands that I've done do you think everybody was on time? That would be zero. That's correct. Zero. And you would think with 3, 4, 5,000 chances, we'd have one time where everybody was on time. Actually, I got a call from Scotiabank a couple of years ago, and they said, we'd like you to speak to our mortgage people in Ontario at a conference. And I said, well, the thing is, we're a real estate coaching company, not a business coaching company. So I only speak at realtor functions. And so they said, well, we'll pay you this much. I said, okay, so what day is that going to be? So sold myself out pretty quick there. And so I went there at 9:30 for a 10 o'clock talk on running a business. And I didn't see any empty seats. And so I asked the girl at the front who was taking the attendance, I said, is anybody else coming? She said, no, they're all here. So that was the one time, and they weren't realtors. Out of 3 or 4, 5,000 times, everybody was half an hour early. Because the thing that I'm going to share with you isn't something that entrepreneurs possess, it's something that realtors possess. It's something inside you that's causing you to have a time management problem, and it's solely for real estate. And as long as you hold on to it, you're never going to be good at time management. You're always going to be scrambled. And when you're busy, you're going to be scrambled busy. You see, as people get busy in real estate, this issue I'll share with you, even though they're busy right now, and they're doing 2, 3, 4 deals, they're running around like they're doing 10. They're extra busy. This thing that you hold on to causes you to get scrambled very quickly. It's like you go home for dinner. How was your day? Oh, I'm going crazy. Got this listing coming up. I got this fire going on. Got some things on the go. But it's like you got 20 things on the go. So I'm going to share this with you. It's a little bit some psychology as to why this happens and how to fix it. Obviously, how to fix it. Before we do that, a lot of you has been asking me about our coaching programs and the new book that I have coming out any day now. And so one of the things I've enjoyed about being with you folks for the year is you called me a lot. At least 50 of you have reached out to me at some point over the course of the year, which was great. I really enjoyed that. And I will just say this as our last meeting, that when you have called me and you've asked me your question, like all the other clients that call, at some point in the conversation, I tell you that you're thinking too much. You're thinking too much. And so I think the most common statement that our coaches make is to the clients is a little less thinking and a little more doing would be helpful. So on the way here this morning, we coach a new office just started, and I was explaining the pillars, and this gal called me and said, yes, so I have a question about the geographical farm because I'm going to start one. I said, okay, what's the question? Well, I researched this one area, and it has 7% turnover, which is excellent because you remember back a year ago we explained farming, you want to have at least 6% turnover. 1,000 homes, at least 6% turnover annually. That means there's at least 60 sales there. Don't just choose the area that you live in, make sure it has the right turnover. 6% or better. So she said, I checked this area, it had 7% turnover. I said, that's great. She goes, then I checked another area, it had 9% turnover. Great. Then I checked another area, it had 7% turnover. Okay. Then I checked another area and it had 7% turnover. Why do you keep checking areas? Like, she's making a make work project. You guys understand that? Too much thinking. So for me, in Pickering, when I started in 87, I thought, that area, Glen Anna, Rosefield, Field Light, that looks like it's a busy area. So I checked it, and it had 9% turnover. Why would I keep checking other areas? I don't know if that area that I was farming had the highest turnover, but if there's 850 homes with 8, 9, 10% turnover, that means every year 70, 80, 90 sell, yes or no? So can I grab a bunch of them, yes or no? Why would I keep checking? Once you find the area, get to work, yes? So I told this gal on the way up here, I need you to choose one of them, and if you don't call me back in the next 24 hours, I'm gonna call you back and ask you which one. See, subconsciously, I think we make work projects, we don't have to get to work. A little less thinking and a little more doing. Every question that you folks have asked me, like every client, not just you folks, all clients, somewhere in the conversation, I tell them that you're probably thinking a little bit too much here. A little more thinking, a little less thinking, a little more doing would be helpful. And so if you think about all the things that we've talked about for a year, by the way, the reason that I saved time management to the end isn't because it's the least important of the 12. Matter of fact, after I share these things with you today, it's common for a lot of realtors to say to me, you should have led with this. This would have been very helpful a year ago. The reason I keep it to the end is because it's a small topic. I'm going to share with you what the problem is and how to fix it. And so as you know from here back, the class we do, then I think your coach is Danny on the call, yes? 2 o'clock? Yes or no?
Yes.
If it's not, just say yes, I'll pretend you've been on the calls. And so I share the class, Danny then gives more information on that topic. But you see, the reason I saved customer service last month, and time management is because they're small but important, so Danny doesn't have to recap it more. He can start recapping what we did in the entire year. So your next 3 calls, the program doesn't end today, it just ends with me today. But the next 3 Mondays, Danny will be recapping on those calls what we've learned in the year, so there'll be good calls to be on. Okay, so I saved time management till the end because I'm going to cover it all today. That's it. And there is no more material. It's very simple, and you'll never have a time management again as long as you live. And so for those of you that asked about our coaching programs, let me tell you about them briefly. We have one-on-one coaching. It's $700 a month. Everything that you've thought is a good idea in the year, they would make you do it. They will monitor to make sure that you find the appropriate amount of leads on a tracking system online. You have it now, but not using it. But in one-on-one coaching, that would not be optional. If you don't use it, you would not be able to stay. So all of the one-on-one clients would use it. They would monitor to make sure you call your database every 90 days. What week are you on? How to go? They would monitor that and hold you accountable. We've long had the belief that we don't think that anyone needs to get into real estate coaching, be it ours or Mike Ferrier's or Brian Buffini's or Richard Robbins or the rest of them. You don't need to get into coaching to find out what to do. You can learn what to do pretty quickly. You need to be in coaching to be held accountable to do what you need to do, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. And I know this will sound a little self-serving, but in the Toronto market right now, if you're not in somebody's coaching program, it's going to be challenging. Because most of the realtors are in coaching that are doing things now. I'm not saying you have to be in ours. Find the one that suits you. And so one-on-one is $700. Mastermind coaching is exactly the same. Same coaches do it. It's $300 a month. There's 4 people on the call. It's a mastermind group. Software's the same. Coaches are the same. Half-hour calls a week. The only difference is 4 on a call versus 1 on a call. And it's not that people start in mastermind coaching when they do really well, they go to one-on-one coaching. That's not really the way it is. If you're a lone wolf personality where you don't want other people on the call, one-on-one is best. If you're a social person that you like the mastermind group format, then that's best for you. It's more of a personality thing. We have lots of brand new realtors in one-on-one coaching. They don't want other people on the call. We have lots of people in mastermind coaching that are doing 30, 40, 50 or more transactions. They just like other people on the call. They like that synergy there, so that's best for you. We've been getting a lot of questions last couple of years about online coaching. So we are launching an online coaching program if you just want to do it online. And it'll be launching May 1st. And how it will work is pretty basic. I'm recording right now. I'm recording this afternoon. That's why my three-piece suit. I'm recording webisodes. And how it will work is this. For those of you that don't come to this, it'll be exactly the same, watching me on the computer. So basically, you'll get a webisode will drop into your client corner. You know the software you're not using right now? Yes? There's a client corner section. And so if you join this program, every Monday, a webisode will drop onto your dashboard. And then it's about 20 minutes long. Every coaching company on the planet, their one-on-one calls are half an hour. So if you take out your participation, it's 20 minutes. And if they're longer, you won't watch them. They're not 20 minutes long, these webisodes, because I don't have lots to say. If they're longer, you won't watch them. And so it'll drop on Monday morning, and you would open it up, have your workbook there, and I would be talking to you from the screen, telling you what to do. You write things down. And then as soon as you watch it, it'll be transferred from your dashboard into the client corner, and it'll stay there. So you can go back and look at them. And that's how we'll know if you've watched it or not. So if you haven't watched it by Wednesday, we'd know to give you some accountability. And so you can go, they'll stay there. You can't go forward because they have to be time-paced. So that online coaching will be $99. It'll be starting in March. I'm recording the webisodes right now. Not me at my desk Skyping. We're in a studio recording them properly edited. As I'm talking, things are coming up on the screen. All you have to do is every Monday, when that drops onto your dashboard, find 20 minutes with your workbook, listen to what I'm telling you, write it down, do the homework I say. Next Monday, another one will drop in, and then it'll be cool that way. Okay, so the new book it could be here any day. And so I think we have about 300 people have registered for the book, The Realtor's Magic Formula. I'm gonna assign a number 500. They're the first edition. And so if you want one of them, you have to go to my website and sign up for it. And there's no shipping or tax. It's just $25. And then I'll assign them 1-500, 2-500. I'll number them all. There's a couple hundred more copies that aren't accounted for yet. So if you want one that's numbered and copied, or signed and numbered, then you need to go to the website and register for that. Okay, enough selling stuff. Okay, so what page are we on? Time management, what page is that? 88, go there, please. You're definitely calling it back. There you go. Okay, so write this down at the top, please. There are 3 things that will make me a time management wizard. There are 3 things that will make me a time management wizard. And so I'll share these 3 things with you. I'll spend more time on these 3 things over our time here this morning. There are lots of other time management tips, to which I will share a few of them with you, but everybody listen carefully. If you get these 3 things correct, it will be impossible to have a time management problem. Now, if you could operate your career from here forward without a time management issue, you'll have a lot more time off, you'll get a lot more done, and when you get 2 or 3 things on the go, you won't be as scrambled. Once I explain it to you, you'll understand what I'm talking about. You'll be calmly selling 50 homes a year and making, I guess, $500,000, $600,000, $800,000, depending where you work, calmly selling 30, 40, 50 homes a year and taking 8 weeks vacation easily. You see, the thought that more work means more income is wrong. That is not correct. That's just your brain playing a trick on you. Matter of fact, the more time you take off, the more sales you'll make. I know that sounds backwards, but it's not. Last year, according to the Inman survey, not ours, that's a company out of New York that rates all industries, and they rated the top 25 coaching companies in North America. We were rated number 5, and we rated the fastest growing. I only work 190 days. I only have 190 days that I work. Realtors say to me all the time, I know you teach 8 weeks vacation, but I can't do that yet because I'm too busy. No, you're thinking backwards. The more time you take off, the more sales you make. If you don't think I'm telling you the truth, just take a look at when you're going on vacation on Saturday. What happens 3 days before you take off? What happens? The phone rings off the hook, yes? Yeah. Yes or no? Yes. Every time, not sometimes. The phone rings off the hook. You're leaving on Saturday. On Wednesday, you get this call. They say, okay, it's time to list the property. And you say, wow, that's amazing. But you're thinking, you've got to be kidding me. Like, you seriously have to be kidding me. You told me like 3 months you were going to wait for like a year. Now you want to do it? I'm leaving Saturday. Yes or no? Yes. The next day, You get a call from a buyer. Okay, you want to get looking? Again, you say, okay, that's great, but you're thinking again, seriously? I'm leaving on Saturday. Yes or no, people? Yes. Every time you go away, you get busy. By the way, my annual event coming up, hate to sell again, July 12 and 13, I'm going to take 2 days to explain why that happens. I'm going to take 2 days. It's a big teaching on why is it that that happens. What clicks in your brain on the Wednesday? What clicks then? That causes the law of attraction to click into high gear and attract everything to you. What happens? That it's not accidental that happens. And so once you understand the principles of that, all of the attributes that cause that, you can make that 3 days permanent. Wouldn't that be great? Yes or no? Yeah. But you notice the busyness is connected to you taking time off. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. It's connected. And so I'm going to explain that for 2 days. I'll do some other things too, but that'll be the majority of it. And so once you understand those principles, that 3 days of busy will be permanent in your business. But notice how the perk in business is connected to time off. You know what slows business down? Not time off. Every coin has two sides. You know what slows business down? You know what slows the phone down from ringing? Too much gap between time off. There's no connection between more work. People say to me all the time, well, I'm selling 10 homes now. If I sell 30, I'll have to work 3 times as hard. That's buying into that false belief. You guys understand that? Yes or no? Yes. So if you start taking 8 weeks vacation, you will never be able to stop the phone from ringing. That's what I'm going to teach you in July. So you might want to go to that. Anyways. Okay, so write down major point number 1. I'm going to spend some time on this one. This is the psychological one. Major point number 1. I'm going to give you, after the 3 major points, I'm going to give you some other tips. But I had a revelation, and I discovered this about 20 years ago. I was down in Shreveport, Louisiana, and I was taking a course, a bunch of them. And one of them was on time management. And the gal that was teaching it was very good. As a matter of fact, she's still actively teaching realtors in southern US. But at the first break, I had a realization that for realtors, if you get these 3 points correct, it would be impossible to have a time management problem. And so that would make the other 47 points making up the 50 that she was going to teach irrelevant. Because if you get these 3 correct, and it's impossible to have a time management problem, the other points would be irrelevant. So I went through at the break and said, listen, I think you're a great trainer. And I already knew that. I'd heard her speak before on other topics. But I'm going to play golf after the break because it was a golf resort. Because I just realized that if I get these 3 things correct, I can't have a time management problem, which would make the other 47 points irrelevant. And she had the epiphany at the same time, by the way. And she said, well, that's going to be difficult for me to teach the other 47 now, Rob. Thanks a lot. I said, it's the way it is, though. She goes, it's true. So to this day, she teaches a half-day course on these 3 things because we both had the epiphany at the same time. So what I'm going to share with you is what are those 3 things and just focus on them. I will give you a couple other ones as well that if you happen to screw this up, how to fix it, but that's all we're going to do today. So the first one, I'd like you to write down, major point number 1, write down my core beliefs. My core beliefs. Now, core beliefs are the most powerful thing on the planet. Core beliefs are the reason that we do things, the reason that we believe things. As a matter of fact, if you watch the news, what's going on our planet, we're pretty safe here, but it's pretty chaotic around the planet, yes? Yes? And so really, the problem is this group of people feel this way, core belief. This group of people feel this way, therefore something bad must happen. It's the core beliefs that cause all the problems, yes or no? Yes. Yeah. And so core beliefs are insanely powerful. So if here, let's say you're a Christian and your friend is a Muslim and you have a friend that's a Hindu, and you go for lunch and each of your hidden agenda is to convert the other 2. Nobody's getting converted. That's going to be a stressful lunch for sure, but nobody's getting converted, correct? Yes or no? Because everyone has their core belief, which is a very powerful thing. There's no way at that lunch the Christian's going to say to the Hindu, you know what? I've never had it explained that way before. You are so right. It's not going to happen. Core beliefs we protect, yes or no? Yes. They're the most powerful thing on the planet. But here's the thing in the brain. You'll notice in our coaching, we teach tactical things, yes, but I always take the time to explain how the brain reacts to that and why that happens that way. We spend a lot of time on that. You'll notice in our 2 hours together, you don't really have very many points ever. It's more explaining the psychological side and metaphors to teach that. I don't have a lot of points. If you look back at our notes, a couple hours might be 8 to 10 points, that's it. And so in the brain, it doesn't differentiate a major core belief to a minor core belief. It just knows that you did it for that reason. It's not like spiritual, that's a major core belief. I did this thing for this reason, which is not really that important. So it's a smaller core belief. That's not how the brain works. Whatever you do, the reason you do it is called your core belief. And the brain protects it at all costs. It doesn't matter if it's a minor one, it sees them all the same. All it knows is you did it for this reason, so therefore I'll protect that. That's what the body does, the brain does. And so every now and again, if I'm in the real estate school area, phase 3, I guess that's phase 5 now. Yeah, is it? It's phase 5 now? I don't know. It's been about a year since I popped into phase 3. But if I'm in the area and I got a big gap between seminars, I pop in. I know all the teachers. They don't mind if I pop in and talk to the class for 20 minutes. Matter of fact, they don't mind the break. Matter of fact, what is phase 3 anyways? How not to get sued, right? Yes or no? Yes. That's it. If somebody's like, I don't know, I don't even remember, Rob. How not to get sued. You can take a break from that. And so it's all theoretical. So I poke my head in the door and they say, oh, Rob owns a real estate coaching company. That gets the students' attention. They go, oh, this would be cool. So you want to talk to them for a few minutes? I go, that's why I came here. And so they always introduce me as a motivational speaker, which I'm not. We teach tactically. And so I say this to the group. So in 2 years, 80% of you will not have a real estate license, because that is the numbers on the Toronto Real Estate Board. You get a real estate license, in 2 years, 80% have gone back to their previous job. I'm not talking about in 2 years you keep your license but do something else. That's failing at a different level. 80% of realtors on TREB do not have a real estate license in 2 years. Actually, it's usually when the 2 years dues are due. And then they start thinking, this business is too expensive for me. Of course it is if you're not selling anything. So they don't pay the second year dues, they get back to the previous job. So I say to the group, in 2 years, 80% of you will not have a real estate license. And then they look at me like, I thought this was the motivational guy. That's the look they give me, like, that was not very inspirational. I said, but I can tell you why it will happen. I can tell you why 80% of you will fail. This has nothing to do with the magic formula, 1 in 4 work 3 bills. It's got nothing to do with that. That comes later. So I said, all of you, this phase 3 class, because see, every realtor in North America, every realtor that gets a real estate license gets into real estate for the same 2 reasons. Everybody. All of you. Me. We all get into real estate for the same 2 reasons. The reasons you do things are called core beliefs. And your brain does not differentiate minor ones from major ones. They're just the reason you did it. Protected at all costs. So I say to the group, why are you folks getting into real estate? Instantly someone says, make a lot of what? And have a what? Flexible schedule. You guys understand that? So I don't think you did this on purpose, but when you became a realtor, you got into real estate to make a lot of money and have a flexible schedule. So I say to the phase 3 class, to you folks, unfortunately, the flexible schedule will screw up all the money. Because you see, flexible schedule is the opponent of time management, today's topic. You are trying to adhere to a schedule, but the whole time, the reason that you got into real estate, one of the core beliefs, accidentally, is flexible schedule, which is screwing up all the money and causing you not to be good at time management. And it's causing also, when you get a little busy, to be super scrambled. I mean, I'm going to tell you something now which is tragic, because we try to get all of our coaching clients, especially one-on-one and mastermind clients that we actually get to talk to every week, to calm down and take 8 weeks vacation. Because any group of people, 1,000, 1,200, which is what we have four realtors every year have a heart attack and die. 3 to 4 to 5 every year. Every year. Because of this core belief of flexible schedule, and they cannot calm down. And the flexible schedule, bless you, that was the quietest sneeze ever. But I saw it. The core belief of flexible schedule causes you to be scrambled quickly. Flexible schedule, the opponent of structure. Flexible schedule is the opponent of time management. This is why you can't seem to be on time for things. Realtors are always late. It's always the realtor when their kids are at school doing a play or something, they have to go out and make 9 phone calls. You can't sit still and be calm. See, if you can get rid of the flexible schedule, then you can adhere to time management principles. Plus, when you get a little busy, you won't feel scrambled. Isn't it shocking how quickly you go into scramble mode? Think about it. You got a couple things on the go and scatter. That's the core belief. See, the core belief doesn't question. Remember, I was explaining the brain a few classes back about the captain on a battleship versus the engine room. You guys remember that illustration? Captain versus the engine room. Captain's in charge. The engine room's running the ship, but it's not in charge. The captain is your conscious mind. The engine room is your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is where all the power is. The subconscious mind is currently protecting at all costs. Protecting at the same level as your spiritual belief, your flexible schedule. At the same level. Which is when people say to me, how do you stay so motivated? I feel so complacent. How do you get going? Well, your inner person is protecting a flexible schedule, which is the opposite to structure, yes or no? It's the opposite to working in a system. Now, on the outside, you're like, I gotta get to work. But you go to work and your inside is like pushing back and pulling back. You need to just relax. You need to not adhere to structure. Don't go to the office every Monday to Friday, 9 to 11, make your calls. That's structure. That's the opposite to the core belief of becoming a realtor, make a lot of money, and have a flexible schedule. Yes or no?
Yes.
I wish that I could get rid of it for you, but I cannot. Now, you see when I was saying a few minutes ago, a lot of folks say to me, you should have started with this like a year ago. One of the classes has to be last. Do you understand? That's this one. And so I wish that I could get rid of it for you, and then you could just hold on to the making a lot of money, yes?
Yep.
That's a good one, for the right reasons. Who was it that when we came in today said, I really liked the book you read, The Grass is Greener on This Side of the Fence? Who said that to me? Thank you. In that book, because that's a book on perspective, spinning things correctly. It's the reason I wrote that book first, because the Realtor's Magic Formula is how to do it. But if you're not thinking correctly, this is not going to help you. If you're not thinking correctly, you can read all the self-help books you want. Then none of them are going to help you. The first thing you need to do is you need to be thinking correctly. And I cover in that book the equities of your life with money at the bottom. Money is the least important thing in the equities of your life. I mean, when things are rolling along really nice and everything, you think, okay, let's make a lot of money. Then you have a little adversity, and then you say something like, if you don't have your health, you don't have anything, correct?
Yep.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Money is by far the least most important attribute in your life. As a matter of fact, you'll never have money if you take it off the bottom. The reason that you have money, if you do, and you accumulate money, is because you have the equity of money at the bottom where it's supposed to be, at the bottom of all the equities. Now let me tell you something. You know when you hear the term the real estate gods? You guys hear that?
Yes.
That's a joke, right? You don't understand that, right? So when you hear a speaker say the real estate gods, they're joking somewhat. But there is something keeping control of things, or a group of things keeping control of things. Something's in charge. And so any realtor, listen carefully, and I'm telling you now why you should hold on to the making a lot of money, but let go of the flexible schedule. But hold on to the making a lot of money for the right reasons, not to have money, not to hoard money. See, if your motive as a realtor is to make money, the real estate gods, joking, will do one of two things with you. A, you will not be permitted to make it, doesn't matter how hard you work. B, if you are permitted to make it, you will not be permitted to keep it. You'll just be broke at a higher level. So, this office, like all offices, is full of realtors like that. In entrepreneurship, in real estate, for the wrong reasons, just to make money. And so they are making $50,000, $60,000 at their job, short on cash. Get into real estate, make $300,000, still short on cash. Broke at a higher level. Some of you are trying not to move because you know I'm talking to you. Your body language is like, I don't want to move because I know he reads body language. This office, like every office, has tons of realtors that make $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 and all the office money. Tons. That's what every real estate office is. That's a symptom of being in real estate for the wrong reason. Being in the reason is to service people, yes?
Yes.
Look after people. And because of that, you know what you're doing, you make a lot of money. So hold on to making a lot of money, but it has to be for the right reasons. You understand that? If you've been in real estate for a while and you can't seem to accumulate money, you just seem to make a lot of I don't know where it goes. Take a look at your reasons for what you're doing. Take a look at your equities in your life, and you'll realize that you've got money slid up the list. It's at the bottom. It's the least important thing. Who would like money to just flow to them at an amazing rate? That's like an all play. Somebody's like, Rob, I never put my hand up. If you want that to happen, you've got to move it to the bottom. In the equities of your life, it's the least important. See, money flows to you, success flows to you when you have your priorities correct. And so hold on to the core belief of making a lot of money for the right reasons. We're supposed to leave the planet a better place than we found it, yes? Yes? That's going to be challenging when you just have enough for you. So flexible schedule, that has to go. Make a lot of money, that gets to stay. Now the funny thing is this, there isn't another industry that does that. You see, about maybe 10 years ago, I got a knock on my door, just for effect. And so there was a young lady out there, Elizabeth, and she said, "Hi, I'm working for State Farm." She actually stumbled like I said, "Hi, I'm working for State Farm." I'm like, this is her first time door knocking. And she said, "I'm getting started and I'm looking to get some clients." That's pretty direct. I said, "Well, we already have a guy." She was, "Okay, well, thanks for your time," walked away. And then about 6 months later, she knocked on my door again. And then I noticed about a year later, where I live in Pickering Village, she rented an old house, I guess, and put a little sign up front, State Farm. 10 years later, she has a thriving business. You see, insurance people, they don't get an insurance license with the two core beliefs of make a lot of money and have a flexible schedule. They get in with the core belief of make a lot of money and be successful. Nobody gets into the insurance industry with the core belief of flexible schedules. It's solely for realtors. And so because of that, the insurance industry is the opposite. 80% make it, 20% fail. In real estate, it's the other way around. 80% fail, 20% make it because of the core belief of flexible schedule. Mortgage brokers, they get into the mortgage industry to make a lot of money and make their mark and be a successful entrepreneur, but they don't bring in the flexible schedule. So 80% of mortgage people make it, 20% fail. It's real estate and real estate solely. They get into real estate to make a lot of money and have a flexible schedule. And so if you are trying to keep your schedule going and you're holding on to flexible schedule, you are running in water. You're never going to win. If I was you, I would highly recommend you get rid of that. So everybody repeat after me. My reason for being a realtor is to help many people, and as a sub-benefit, I make a lot of money. And every work day, I get to work. That's a better one, isn't it? You accidentally brought make a lot of money and flexible schedule in to your real estate career. And as long as you hold on to the flexible schedule, you're never going to be able to adhere to time management principles because your brain will protect that even though you did it without thinking. Matter of fact, as I'm pointing out, you're probably thinking, I've never even thought about this. I've been selling real estate for 10 years. For 10 years, your brain has been protecting the core belief of flexible schedule, which is why you have a hard time adhering to a schedule. And then when you have a few things on the go, you're scrambled, yes or no? Yes. Yes or no, people? Yeah. So if you want to take 8 weeks vacation or a minimum and do lots of deals and be calm, you got to let go of the flexible schedule of the core belief of flexible schedule. Right now, your body's protecting it. When the outside fights with the inside, guess what wins? The inside. The outside never wins. And so right now, I'm telling you that most of you are protecting flexible schedule, which is causing a time management problem. It's the opponent of today's topic. Major point number 1. Major point number 2, write this down, please. I think it might even have at the top of the page a morning schedule, yes? You guys see that there? Okay, so write this down, please. As my morning goes, so goes my time management. As my morning goes, so goes my time management. It would be difficult to say tomorrow, oh, not tomorrow, it's Saturday. Oh, yeah, it's weird being here on Friday. Okay, and so next Monday, you get up and you work a perfect morning schedule and it's noontime. So you got up at the right time, you did what you're supposed to do, and someone says, how's your time management today? Perfect. You can't nail your morning schedule and have a time management problem. But if you sleep in and then you intend to do this and you don't, you're all scrambled all morning, and which means you have a couple things on the go. And whenever you're holding on to flexible schedule, as soon as there's a couple things, the core loves that. Because you see, the engine room on the battleship never buzzes the captain. The captain buzzes the engine room. The engine room never buzzes the captain and says, we don't have that much on the go, but because of our thinking, we're all scrambled right now. That would be the engine room questioning the captain. Never happens on a battleship, never happens in your brain. Actually, it might happen on a battleship. There has been mutinies before, but it won't happen in your brain. There's never mutinies in the brain. Whatever the captain tells the engine room, it just does it. So, years ago, your captain told the engine room, Make a lot of money, have a flexible schedule. No problem. It's been protecting that ever since. All right. So the morning schedule, so write this down. I need to create the perfect morning schedule. I need to create the perfect morning schedule and stick to it 80% of the time. I need to create the perfect morning schedule and stick to it 80% of the time. If I was to tell you folks that you're not perfect, that wouldn't be a news flash, would it? Would it? Well, you guys know that? Are you aware of that? Yes or no? Somebody's looking at me like, seriously? Because I think that explains some things. Nobody's perfect. So we're not looking in our coaching company for perfection. We just want our clients to stick to their morning schedule 80% of the time. As your morning goes, so goes your time management. As your morning goes, so goes your career, quite frankly. Your morning schedule will make or break you as a realtor. You know, your afternoon schedule has no bearing on your career whatsoever. None. As a matter of fact, we don't even have material on the afternoon schedule. No coaching company does. We have lots of material on the morning schedule. We hold our clients to that. As your morning schedule goes, so goes your career. As your morning schedule goes, so goes your time management. Your afternoon schedule has no bearing on your real estate career whatsoever. The other day at a seminar, a lady said to me, I have a time management problem in my afternoon. I said, well, actually, you just don't have enough in it. That's the problem. It's just lacking things in it. If you worked in the morning and you booked something, you'd be working on that right now. Your problem you have in the afternoon is a lack of things in it. And she said this to me, well, I'm not a morning person. Okay, so talking about the brain, yes? So, no, I'm not going to ask you who, I don't want to, no. I was going to ask who's not a morning person, but I don't want to do that because I don't want to see any hands. So, as your morning goes, so goes your career, and your afternoon schedule has no bearing on your career. It has no bearing whatsoever. There isn't a coaching company on the planet that even has material on it. There's nothing there. Work your morning and be good at time management, and your career will be good. So, if somebody says, I'm not a morning person, that means they're not having a good morning schedule, correct? Yes or no? And so when I say create the perfect morning and stick with it 80% of the time, because we have in our company 20% margin for error. I think that the rest of the way this year, if we all ate 20 or 80% of the right foods, that's an upgrade, yes? For most people. What if we all worked out 80% as much as we're supposed to? That would be significant. If you work your morning schedule or anything 80% of the time, that's going to be a lot. So that is our margin for error in our coaching company. So one of our coaches is coaching somebody and they're supposed to make 20 contacts a day, and they are on the call and they pull up the track system and see the week at a glance. They see Monday 17 contacts, Tuesday 21, Wednesday 0, Thursday 16, Friday 22. And the coach is like, oh, good job, 80%. And then the client says, oh, I'm so mad at myself. Why? I screwed up Wednesday. Seriously, get over yourself. Because that would be the client pretending, trying to be perfect, yes? Yes or no? Yeah. 80% of anything is a lot. The coach would say, look, we're not talking about that, move along. You got 80%, be happy. 80% of anything is a lot. And so when I say nail that morning schedule, I do mean the structure, but listen carefully. I also mean the mindset, yes? Because see, we teach a lot of structure, but we dabble into the mind a lot, yes or no? We teach the law of attraction, yes? You become what you think about, correct? We did a whole month on that. Plus, it mixes in every class. Because in any of the months that we don't talk about what is the mind on this, like today, the mindset side of time management is the core belief of flexible schedule screwing up your time management. Because that core belief is the opponent of the topic. And your inside will win every time. And so that would mean this. Let's just say you get up every morning, and although you don't work an amazing schedule, but you're so jacked about that day, mentally, yes? Well, I can't on one side teach the law of attraction and then say that wouldn't work. Because that would work, wouldn't it? If somebody does not, get up and go to the office and make their calls 9 to 11, but they wake up early and they get their head in the game, and this day we're taking no prisoners, I'm finally saying, they're mentally in the game. That means the law of attraction will be active, yes or no? Yeah. So if you had to choose a morning that you actually did the structure, or you are mentally in the game, which would be the most important one? Mentally in the game. Because the law of attraction trumps everything, yes? We have lots of clients. I don't know if you guys know Hussein Kabani. One of our clients, I happen to coach him myself because he's an original guy. They make $700,000, $800,000 a year. He very rarely works his morning schedule. But he is so mentally tough that it works for him. You guys understand that? Not that I don't want you to work the good schedule. That's the point here. But you have to be in the game, yes? But when someone says to me, well, I'm not a morning person, they're 0 for 2. They're 0 for 2. Now they're not doing their morning schedule and not mentally in. You guys understand that? You can't win when you're 0 for 2. It'd be good to be 2 for 2. We coach a guy, Sam Marchi, who works for Century 21. He was a 5 sale guy 3 years ago, now 50. He's been on my panel several times. He's 2 for 2. He's one of those structured guys that every morning he makes his calls perfectly and he's mentally in the game. It'd be good to be 2 for 2. But if you had to choose one, mentally would be the better of the two. But you can't be 0 for 2 in the morning, because as your morning goes, so goes your time management, so goes your career. The afternoon schedule has no bearing on your career. So if you're 0 for 2 in the morning, kind of get in the game after lunch in a time slot that has very little to do with your schedule, if not nothing. You guys clear? So we have to make the perfect morning schedule. I'm not going to have you do it right now, but later, this second point is I need you to write out a perfect morning schedule. It's in the book there. You guys see it? Yes or no? Yes. So fill it out later and then stick to that 80% of the time. No, guys and girls, look at me here. Don't write down the schedule you're on right now. That's not, unless you're on the perfect morning right now. But the odds are you have to make a different one. Yes or no? Yes. Okay. So write out the perfect morning schedule. Say, okay, that is my perfect morning. I get up at this time. I do this, 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 this. If you are saying I'm not a morning person, you got to get rid of that. But you wouldn't be alone. I said it till I was 35. I'm sure I didn't start saying that when I was a kid. I don't know when it starts. But I said I'm not a morning person. But obviously doing what I'm doing, that would be a bad attribute, yes or no? So if you want to know if you don't feel like you're a morning person, let me give you the affirmation to say, okay? So write this down. I wake up at, you can fill the blank in. I wake up at, for me, it's 5:30. Is anybody here on our 5:30 wake up call? No, just one guy? Okay.
PM or AM?
What's that?
I said PM or AM.
It's kind of funny. So, AM. It kind of goes like this morning. Hey, it's Friday morning, it's 5:30, it's time to get to work, you sleeping tomorrow, like get your butt out of bed, let's go. It's a work day. That's how it would go, the wake-up call. Not all the spouses enjoy the wake-up call. Because I was out at Fairview Mall maybe 3 months ago, and I did 2 seminars there. One was a real estate office this side of Fairview Mall, and a real estate office this side of Fairview Mall, ending at 3 o'clock, starting at 6, so I went shopping. What else are you going to do? So I see this couple walk toward me, don't know who they are, and the guy goes, hey, Rob Vivian. And he's a client. We have 1,200 clients. And she says to his wife, this is our coach. And she goes, oh, hi. Wait a minute. Are you 5:30 guy? Yes. She's not that happy about the 5:30 wake-up call. And so I wake up at, whatever time you put in there, alive, excited, and full of energy. Alive, excited, and full of energy. That's a good instruction for the captain to give the engine room, yes? I wake up at blank, alive, excited, and full of energy. That would be better for you. That's been the case for me for the last over 20 years. I wake up at 5:30, alive, excited, and full of energy. Now, tomorrow morning, because I'm going to record some videos this afternoon, I'm going to go to the lake. I'm not getting up at 5:30 tomorrow. That is not a work day. You guys understand that?
That's not proficient.
Well, yes. It's kind of between now. The ice isn't safe. The lake's not open, so no fishing yet. But generally, yes, that would be correct. Okay? And so you wake up early. Now listen to me carefully. Your work days should be 220-ish. Mine are 190. 220, 8 weeks vacation, and then the rest of the days are not work days. So that's 44 weeks of Monday to Friday. Now, even when you're working out, you say, Rob, I show homes to do offers on Saturday. I know, but you don't have to get up at 5:30. See, 44 weeks, 5 days a week, 220 days, you have to take no prisoners in the business. You guys understand that? We are growing the business today. If you come to my office, and you ask any staff member a question, what are you guys working on today? They'd say, oh, we're growing the business today. We're growing the business today. Whatever they're working on something for sure. James is editing videos today. So what are you working on, James? Oh, we're growing the business today. That's the answer. That's what's in their head. Because it's a work day, yes? Although, you might get up on Saturday and go show some homes and then do an offer later. But you're not getting up at 5:30. It's not the same. You guys understand that? You don't have to grow the business day. You're just doing something the Monday to Friday generated. So although you're working that day, it's not the same. But Monday to Friday, 44 days, 44 weeks a year, you got to grow the business, yes? You can't be holding on to it in the most competitive real estate board in North America by a long shot. Toronto is the most competitive board by a long shot. Not even close to any other board. Matter of fact, I tell other clients in other cities that in Toronto, an expired listing, if there was one, would get calls before it expired. They're like, that does not happen. That's impossible. They get lots of calls, yes? Not from you guys, I get that. But it's common. I'm teaching at an office the other day and a guy says, is it better to call expires before or after they expire? Seriously, you're asking that question in a group? I said, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to call, you can't call them before they expire. Are you sure? Because I think you can. I'm certain you cannot. So I shouldn't drop my packages off? Yeah, you shouldn't do that. Another guy puts his hand up. He goes, no, you shouldn't drop a package off. You should book an appointment to inspect it. I'm looking at him as he's talking, like, what is wrong with you? You should book an inspection 3 days before and go talk to them. I go, you can't do that either. No, I think that's okay. It's not okay. You understand? Most aggressive board on the planet by a long shot. You tell those stories to other boards, they won't believe that that happens here. And so now here in the most aggressive board on the planet, we have realtors on workdays sleeping to 8 o'clock because I'm not a morning person. 0 for 2. That is not good time management. You know what that is though? That is the core belief of flexible schedule keeping you tired. The other day a realtor said to me, you don't understand. I can't get up in the morning. I had a young guy say to me the other day, I can't get up in the morning. I know he's telling the truth because the core belief of flexible schedule will keep you tired. That's its job. It's to keep you in a flexible schedule, yes? The job of the core belief is to protect that at all costs. It doesn't see the difference between the value of them. Just that's what you're doing. It'll keep you tired. See, he thinks he's giving me an observation. I'm observing that I'm tired in the morning. In fact, it's the other way around. You're tired because you keep saying I'm not a morning person. Now what you wrote down, the captain starts saying that to the engine room. I wake up at 5:30, 6 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock. That will be the latest on a work day. That will be the latest on a work day. There's no way you're going to separate the 2:20 from the 1:45 if you're sleeping into 8 o'clock. Your body should be aware that they are dramatically different. You guys understand that? When I get up at 5:30 and 5:25 now to record the call at 5:30, then I stretch. Because I only do that on work days, my body knows. After I finish stretching, I'm very motivated. I think my brain is saying, this must be one of those we're not taking prisoners day. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing this right now. Oh, okay, let's get going here. Then I'm very motivated. The stretching does that because my body knows that's what happens on those days. You guys understand that? At 5:45, I'm all jacked up, thinking, man, I can't teach my first seminar until 10. That's this morning. That's how it should be on work days, yes? It can never be that way, holding on to flexible schedule. Your inside will always win. You're protecting something that makes no sense on the most important board on the planet. Now, can I say something? You guys promise not to get mad at me? I'm going to need the promise.
Yeah.
That's for you two people as well. Who in the room is semi-retired? One. Especially once you do the thing we talked about, right? Even more. Okay, this is the part. That wasn't the part that I was worried you'd get mad at me. This is the part. I think you should stop pretending you are. Think about it. I think you are operating like you're semi-retired, even though you're not. And that is the core belief of flexible schedule at work. See, I think realtors get a real estate license and they operate right out of the gate like they're semi-retired. Right out of the gate. That's why 80% fail. So as I was explaining this to the phase 3 class, a young guy put his hand up and he said, how long do I have to work hard for? So that statement with that confused look is a bad sign, yes? But his reasons for getting a real estate license were to make a lot of money and have a flexible schedule, correct? Unfortunately, the flexible schedule is going to screw up all the money and cause 80% of realtors to fail. It's a core belief. Don't drag it around. I said to the phase 3 class, most of you folks are going to get a real estate license. At this point, you're going to pass. You're going to get a license, and you're going to operate your career like you're semi-retired right out of the gate. And if you want to meet with one of the clients to business plan, They say, when are you available? Well, I'm definitely available till 10:30 because nobody's in yet. Yes or no?
Okay, all the time.
You go to the office and there's nothing happening until 10:30. What is that all about? That's a real estate community protecting the flexible schedule, and nothing's going on in the morning, correct?
Yeah, but I get some work done between.
No, I totally get that.
Yeah.
I totally get that. So someone says, when are you available? Can you come in at 9? Ooh, really? I have offices say to me, can we start the seminar at 10:30? It's too hard for people to get here at 10. That's an industry hooked on the core belief of flexible schedule. You guys understand that? So the first thing is get rid of that. Second one is make a really good morning schedule and stick to it 80% of the time. And I'm just pointing out to you that, do you guys okay if we just go straight through today and leave a bit early? It is Friday. You okay with that? Let's do that then. So, but we would be normally breaking in 5 minutes, so if some of you ladies I notice have your legs crossed, which I know what that means. So if you feel like you have to go to the washroom, feel free to. So the second major point is that morning schedule. Now think about it. Time management isn't something that can stay with you. It resets every day. It's not, you can't wake up in the morning with an existing time management problem. If you have a listing that is challenging to you and they need to be fired, have you guys ever heard that the customer is always right? Yes? That is not true. That is not true. You have some people periodically need to get fired, yes? If you are letting a seller or a buyer mistreat you, you're making a mistake. You cannot do that. The only reason you would do that is you're not finding the appropriate amount of leads every month. You understand that? Because I had someone ask me the other day, a client, I have a seller that's berating me. I said, you use the word berating. He goes, yeah, that's what it'd be. How do I handle that? You fire them instantly. You call them and say, look, the cancellation is on the front desk. I won't be there. Just go in and sign it, please. You're done. Nobody can talk to you like that. You guys understand that? That is not correct. You would only put up with that if you're not finding the appropriate amount of leads each month, month after month after month after month after month after month. You guys agree, yes or no?
Yes.
You cannot let that happen. That is not correct. So you stick to your morning schedule 80% of the time. That was bonus material there. And so 20% of the time, you screwed up, go easy on yourself. So if you wake up, listen carefully, next Wednesday, and you screw the morning up. So that means when you get to noontime and someone says, how's your time management? Well, today it sucks. Yes or no? Yes or no? The good news is it resets tomorrow morning. You can't wake up the next day with an existing time management problem. Your alarm goes off at 5:30, 6:30, 6 o'clock, whatever your time is. If you start hitting the snooze button, then you start to create a time management problem, yeah? But if it goes off and you get up, and then you work your morning schedule, the one you create, and noontime, how's your time management today? It's perfect today. As your morning goes, that's how that day will go. You understand that? So I highly recommend this. You get up a couple weeks from now, and we are fine in our company with screwing 1 day a week out, assuming it's 5 days, not on a short week. On a short week, a long weekend, that 4 days, got to get them all right. But on a regular week, you screw up 1 day, don't even worry about it. If you mention your coach, they'll just quickly move past it. I see that you got 4 days right, that's fine. 80% of anything is a lot. So when you screw that morning up and you get to noontime, you've made a mistake, and that's going to happen once a week. If I were you, I would not worry about fixing it. Just do your best, because it will reset in the morning, yes? You guys understand that? See, there are lots of things that don't reset in the morning. If you have something, a physical ailment, you wake up in the morning and still have it. Lots of things run from one day to the next. If you are short on money and you wake up, go to sleep short on money, you wake up, you're still short on money. If you have a seller that needs to be fired but you're just putting it off, or a tough call to make, you wake up in the morning, you still have it, yes? Lots of things run from one day to the next, but time management does not. You can't wake up on a day with a time management problem. If you screw up the morning, which will be 20% of the time, just, okay, it is what it is. We'll deal with today. And then in the morning, we'll reset, we're back at square one again. So don't panic about it, it's no big deal. I screw up days all the time. Not so much now because I'm so structured. I can't screw up and not show up here, right? So, but I don't do what you do. But as a realtor when I was definitely screwing up 1 day a week. That's fine. 80% of anything is a lot. You're not perfect. When you screw up, just, that's it. That's what you got today. Work with it. Next day, if you nail the morning, you'll be back on track again. Time management resets every morning. Okay. Third major point, write this down. This one's not going to sound like much, but it's actually quite significant. Write down, I need to make my to-do list the night before. I need to make my to-do list the night before. I'm sure that's not the first time you're hearing that. But I'm going to explain to you why this is so important, how the brain works and why the night before is the right time to do it. So you need to make your to-do list the night before. So tonight, say a weeknight, so next Monday night, it's evening and you're thinking about your next day. And it's a busy day. You took a listing, so you got to hand that in. You made a sale, so you got to drop off the deposit check. You got to pick up a lockbox because the deal, you left it on because it's closing there. You got to do this and that, write an ad on your new listing and so on. You got a bunch of stuff on the go. And so Monday night, you write out the 8 things. I have 8 things to do. In the evening, the night before, your brain, everybody's brain, is crystal clear on the 8 things you need to do. Okay? So write them down. There is also some point that if you empty it out onto the page, you'll sleep better. I don't know if that's really true or not. So, but some people say that. But your brain will remember all 8 things. If you don't write them down the night before when your brain's clear, you'll wake up the next morning and you go to your desk, either your office or your desk, and you'll write to do. You know there's 8 things, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. And then you start remembering them. You go, I gotta put that in, I've gotta do that, I gotta do that, it's 3, I gotta do that, that's 4, tapping your pen on the paper, I know there's 8, I have 4. That's where every brain is in the morning, yes or no? You're sitting there going, I got 8, I know I got 8. So then you start thinking this, well, you know what I should do? I should start working on these 4. I'll remember, I'll do the other 4 as they come up. Well, that's not good for time management. So you start working on those 4. And as the day goes by, your brain gives you those other ones, but it always holds one. It's like your brain's having fun with you. And so you get to the end of the night, you have dinner, you watch a movie, whatever you do, watch the Leafs win game after game after game after game. I haven't said that in a long time. It's been a long time since I would say something like that. And so you got 7 things. And then you go to bed at 11:30. Now listen to me. Not 5 minutes later, literally the second your head hits the pillow, boom, oh, I gotta call the Smiths. Yes or no? Yeah. That's when your brain gives you the 7th one. Now that was not good for time management. I'm telling you that your brain will be crystal clear the night before. Just write them down. You try to make the list the next morning, you'll be sitting there for 5-10 minutes, you'll come up with half the list, and then you're gonna think we should start working on the list. But the ones you've remembered might not be the one you should be doing first. Now, by the way, let's just say on your list was, I have to call those people that are referred to me from my database, and that's the one your brain gives you at 11:30. That's a big mistake, yes? Now you gotta call them the next day, and you have to start your call out with a little apology now. Oh, hi, John, listen, it's Rob here. Yes, listen, sorry I didn't get back to you yesterday, I got kind of busy. If you don't make your to-do list the night before, and you don't remember it all in the morning, and then your brain gets you over the day, you're gonna be starting a lot of calls out with a small apology because you didn't call them on the day you're supposed to. You understand that? Because that's the one your brain gave you at 11:30 at night if you're off Facebook yet. Maybe you're still not to bed yet because you're still on Facebook. I went to the hockey game with my wife a few weeks back. I'm not on Facebook. You guys know that, right? Did you know that? I've never been on in my life. Our company is on tech, but we have people do that. My wife's a Facebook junkie. And so she's in bed on Facebook. It's like we went for the hockey game, went for dinner. It's like 1:45. So I glance at it. I've seen it. I go, what are all those pictures there? She goes, they're all on right now. It's like Tuesday night. It's 1:45. Are any of those our clients? Oh, lots of them. Can I get the list, please? I called them all yet the next day. What are you doing on Facebook at 1:45? How did you know that? I thought you're not on. Well, my wife's on, and you're on her thing. You're on? It's Tuesday. I wake up at 5:30, alive, excited, and full of energy, yes? You can't be on Facebook at 1 o'clock in the morning, you understand that? Here's a news flash for people. Nothing good happens on the internet after midnight. It's a work day. See, your brain is not good at night. You're gonna be doing things late. The next day you thought, did I do that last night? Sometimes, you ever have a night where you can't sleep, so you watch TV, and they have infomercials on in the middle of the night because your brain's not sharp? That's when they sell stuff that makes no sense at all. That's when people give out the credit card to things that make no sense. Remember this one? If you're going thin, just spray paint your head. You guys remember that? People are like, oh, that's a good idea. Just spray paint it. What a great idea. So if I could get that for fruit, I can bite an apple, I could spray paint it red, put it back. See, that would never fly at 4 in the afternoon. You understand that? Because you have to be a little older to remember what I'm talking about. Because they actually sold that for a while, yes, people? Spray paint your head. What happens when you go swimming? Your head's leaking. It's weird. Wow. Don't worry, I heard all that for the first time as well. So where was it? What's the last thing you wrote down?
I need to make.
Oh yeah, no, the to-do list. Okay, I'm on the to-do list. Make it the night before, because you won't be clear in the morning, and then you won't be working in the right order. You guys understand that? So there's a few more parts to this puzzle. So write down, next is still major point number 2 or 3 in regard to the to-do list. Write down, write 11 a.m. beside point 1. Write 11 a.m. beside point 1. 11 a.m. So you make the to-do list the night before. I got these things to do. And then you write 11 a.m. beside point 1, and they're in order. You guys understand that? Okay. Then go to bed. At like 10 or like 10:30. So why would I say 11 a.m.? Why that time?
Because you stop processing.
There you go. Good answer. Because the next day, when you wake up, even if it's a busy day, it's not allocated to start till 11. You understand that? And your brain has allocated it. So you get up, work your morning schedule, make your calls Monday to Friday, 9 to 11. Unless you're telling yourself you're not a morning person. And you say, no, Rob, I'm really tired in the morning. Oh, I know that. Because if the captain says to the engine room, we're not a morning person, the engine room, the power of the brain, will keep you tired. How would you like your brain to wake you up at a certain time, super jacked, yes or no? Yes. Well, tell it that. It has the ability to move heaven and earth, to bring things to you, or push them away. Waking you up, alive, excited, full of energy, or keeping you tired is a very small thing for the brain to do. It's very, very small. Whatever you tell it, it'll do it. And so you write 11 a.m., and so then you get working on your things. Now write this next thing down. Do one thing at a time. Do one thing at a time. Do one thing at a time. Do it, check it off. Next one, check it off. Do one thing at a time. Don't bounce around. It's bad for time management. Actually, there's a really good book out called The One Thing. Gary Keller wrote it. He's not involved in Keller Williams anymore. You know, he had the book out, The Millionaire Realtor. Yeah? And that is, I don't know how many other books he has, but he has a book out called The One Thing. He's no longer involved in the real estate stuff. He's just writing books now. And The One Thing is a really good business book. It's saying do one thing at a time, one thing at a time. He's right. The brain likes that. I'll explain to you in a sec. The brain dislikes doing multiple things. So you get up in the morning, you have wrote your list the night before. We're talking time management here, yes? The reason you're not doing this is because you're holding on to the core belief of flexible schedule. It's the opponent of what we're talking about right now. Your business could get so calm. So calm. You can't be pumping adrenaline into your body all the time. Realtors say to me all the time, no, I love it. You might like it, but your body doesn't. You cannot be pumping adrenaline into your body on a regular basis. You understand that? You can't be jacked up all the time. That type of adrenaline. It's bad for you. I told you before, 4, 3, 4, 5 every year. And they're usually late 40s. How bad is that? How bad is that? I went to one just the other day. A 48-year-old guy. Lives in Belleville. I said to him, David, you've got to back it down, man. We were on him. I almost said, look, you know what? We're not going to coach you anymore. We were having this conversation because you're going to have a heart attack. He goes, no, but I love this. Is my job is my life. Stop. You're just rationalizing why you can't adhere to proper principles. You might think that, but your body hates it. You can't be pumping adrenaline like that. And then he had a heart attack and died. Literally 2 months ago. That's it. That's not how life is supposed to go, yes or no? You understand that? It doesn't go that way. You got to bring it. If you listen to what I'm telling you today and get rid of the core belief flexible schedule, you will do lots of deals calmly. Lots of deals calmly. All this energy. It doesn't need to happen that way. I mean, a person sells 40 homes a year, yes? That's a lot. That also means on 325 days, you do not sell a house. On 325 days, you do not sell a house. You understand? You can sell 40 homes and be calm. Take 8 weeks vacation, but not if your inner core is keeping you scrambled. Not if it's keeping you scrambled. It takes next to nothing to get scrambled. You understand that? Unless your core belief is get rid of that, then everything gets calm. So one thing at a time. So you do your morning schedule. At 11 o'clock, you do the first item, check it off. You know, that check for Nike is, the check mark is ingenious. It's all expensive to buy that. Matter of fact, I wonder what it would be like to be in that meeting. They say, so what do you got for us, marketing department? Our logo is going to be a check mark. Seriously? That's what you came up with in 3 months? A check mark? It's ingenious, actually. You know, that almost put Adidas out of business. If you remember back, Adidas was gone almost. They made a rebound, yes? But that check mark almost put Adidas out of business. That's so significant, because in the brain, when you do something, you check it off, yes? Satisfied, check, 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 check. So the first item, 11 o'clock, do it, check it off. Do the next item, check it off. Do the next item, check it off. Don't multitask stuff. Your brain hates multitasking. It gets agitated, your brain, when you multitask. As a matter of fact, neurologists are saying now that your brain can't even multitask. It can't do it. It goes to this item for 2/100ths of a second. Then this one, it keeps bouncing back and forth. It's doing one thing at a time. It's just bouncing back and forth. It doesn't like that. When your brain gets agitated, guess what happens to you? Yeah. So you got a couple things on the go, and you go home for dinner. How was your day? Don't even talk to me. Well, I put a listing in, and I booked showings, and I wrote an ad. Leave me alone. Yes or no? That's it. That's all that happened. I called one of our clients in Ocean City, New Jersey, Dorothy Phillips, just a few weeks ago. And they said, Ocean City, New Jersey, Ocean City Realty. I said, Dorothy Phillips, please. She goes, one moment, please. Friendly. Dorothy's on the phone. Can I help you? She knows me. I go, whoa, what's wrong? Oh, I'm going crazy here. Seriously, what's going on? Well, I got that new listing I was telling you about, and I'm filling it out. You get it? And I'm writing an ad on it, and I just got 2 calls. See, her brain is filling out the data sheet, yes? And then her brain thinks, oh, I got to write an ad. So she pulls the ad out, she puts that there, she puts the thing there, and then 2 people call, and she's frustrated. Doing a couple things at once, yes? Why not just get this off, check it off, put it in. Do the next thing, put it in. See, if she just had to work it on the data sheet, she got a couple of calls, it's that other item that caused the frustration. You guys understand that? The agitation in her brain. If she had to just do one thing, when I called her, she goes, Dorothy Phillips, can I help you? But she was creating her frustration by making her brain do more than one thing. You guys understand that? Do it, check it off, do it, check it off, do it, check it off, do it, check it off. Your brain does not like multitasking. It doesn't like it when you make it do that. As a matter of fact, let's just say all of us, we go to Costa Rica, and we're walking through this jungle walk, and we're having fun, because one of the things about this group, it's a fun group. You guys have lots of fun things that you do. I'm sure your Christmas party is a lot of fun, yes? Yes? Yeah. And so we're walking through the jungle, making noise, having fun, yes or no? But then we come to a rope bridge on a 1,000-foot gorge. As people go across the rope bridge, no more fun and games, right? No more fun and games. The brain shuts everything down, just focus. Then you get to the other side, oh my God, start making noise again. Not going across the rope bridge. Now, focus, yes? One thing. It's like if you're walking down the street and you're on your cell phone and the conversation gets stressful, you pull off to the side. Right? The brain shuts everything else down. Just pull off and just focus here. It doesn't want to walk. It doesn't want to walk and have this conversation. You understand that? Yes? So that's the brain wanting to do that one thing. And so when you get your list the night before, 11 a.m., this has nothing to do with 9 o'clock. This is 11 o'clock. You understand that? Do the first thing, check it off. First thing, check it off. Next thing, check it off. Now, in the morning, you should have your cell phone off because you're prospecting. But then 11 o'clock, your cell phone's on, people can reach you, yes? Yeah? So write this next point down, please. When things come in, add them to the bottom of the list. When things come in, add them to the bottom of the list. We're talking time management here. Which, by the way, none of the stuff I'm telling you today, you can actually do if you hold on to the core belief of flexible schedule. Unfortunately for this group, if they do it, you're going to get busy at 9 a.m. Sorry.
Oh, shoot.
I know, that's drag. Because most managers get their work done from 9 till 10:30. There's no realtors in the office yet. We have a client we coach he's a new agent, so he doesn't have an office yet. So you know off your foyer, there's usually a couple of client rooms. Yeah, usually. He prospects there till 9 to 11, never gets interrupted. Nobody's in yet. He says, I don't have an office yet, Rob, because I'm just new, but I just plug my headset in. I have it kind of set up there, I just have to plug it in. 9 to 11, nobody's in the office yet. Right about when I'm wrapping up my prospecting, realtors start showing up. You know, the ones that are pretending they're semi-retired, those ones? At some point, be semi-retired. Semi-retired then. You know what semi-retired realtors do? They can get up at 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, float into the office at 10:30. Check listings, go for lunch with somebody, chit-chat some more, check again, go home. Semi-retired realtors, to which we have one, but we have almost everybody running their business that way. But that would be the core belief of flexible schedule in action. You can't beat it, even if you try. You have to get rid of it. Don't overcome it, get rid of it. By the way to get rid of it is say that affirmation a lot. As soon as I wake up at X, alive, excited, full of energy. I'm a time management wizard. And then once the captain gives that one, it'll turf the other one. By the way, when it turfs the other one and makes that one the new belief, that's called neuro-linguistic programming. It's called NLP. I keep getting off track. What oh, yes.
When you go to new things?
Yeah, so when new things come in, so you phone's off, you do the morning, and then you work on your first item, you do the listing, get it in. Problem. Check it off. You're on the next one, you're writing the ad, one thing at a time. And your brain will be calm. Your realtor's desk got stuff everywhere, working on all sorts of stuff. That's very tough for the brain. Calm. Again, you sell 40 homes. You don't sell one on 325 days if you don't double end anything. And you get a call, and they say, we saw your sign here. Now you have an incoming call. You have 8 items, and they just interrupted because you're available, yes? And so they say, we saw the sign, we'd like to see it. Realtors do this. Oh, well, you want to see it right now? That is so weird for the public, by the way, when you're available right now. I mean, they call a lawyer's office, we'd like to come in for an appointment. You want to come right now? I'm available, like right now. They call a bank, I'd like to come in for an appointment. Come now, we're all here doing nothing right now. Come on over. They're like, really? Okay. So you got your 8 items, and you get a call. And they say, we'd like to see this property. Want to see it right now? Really? Seriously, that's an option? So you would say, you know what? I'm just heading into a meeting right now. Now you would know in your 8 items, you're gonna be done around 2 o'clock-ish. And you say, you know what, I'm heading into a meeting right now I'll be done about 2 o'clock. What's the best number to reach at 2 o'clock? We can arrange to have a look at it. They go, this is my cell number. Great. Now to them, that's really good. They called you, they got you, and they got a time, yes or no? You do a little pre-qualifying, we have them here, and then you'll hang up and you'll write them on the bottom. That's time management, yes? Yes or no? Now, sometimes when I teach as realtors say or think, hey, what if I lose them? First of all, if you hold on to that thought, you'll lose everybody. If you hold on to that thought, you will lose everybody, okay? You can't be, thinking that everyone's gonna go somewhere else. You understand that? And if you are worried about that, again, if you find the appropriate amount of leads every month, month after month after month after month, you won't have to worry about that, yes or no? Finding the appropriate amount of leads every month solves everything. And so, have you heard this saying that there's exceptions to every rule, yes? Yes? Yes. Okay, that still applies. I'm giving you the rule here. So, where's your marketplace? I know we're coming from a few places to come here. Are you Newmarket?
Newmarket.
Would you list something in Oshawa if it was a friend of yours? Or no? Would you go to Scarborough?
Yes.
Okay, Scarborough, okay? But you were like you're not in for the schwa. Okay. So Scarborough, yes? Okay. So you have a listing in Scarborough. Now listen to me. You will make some exceptions for sure, but you got to stop dropping and going so much. That's bad for time management. It's weird for them. I'd like to see it. You want to see it right now? I can't believe you're available right now, but yes. Yes or no? So you get them, you got your list of 8 things, they interrupt this one because you're available. They say, we saw your property in Scarborough. My brother lives on this street. We want to move on this street. We live in Mississauga. We're going to sell our house and move here. That's a good lead, yes?
Yeah.
What are the odds it'll work out for you?
1 in 4.
Correct. And so then you say to them, okay, so listen, you chit-chat a bit and you say, look, I'm heading into a meeting right now. What's the best number to reach you at about 2 o'clock? Or whatever you estimate you'd be finished, because they're at the bottom of the list now. And they go, well, you have my cell number, but we're at my brother's right now. We're heading back to Mississauga at 1. Yes? Would this be the time to drop and go, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. I'm not saying you wouldn't, but you wouldn't just say, okay, I'll come right now. You say, okay. All right, let me call you back in about 10 minutes. I'll make a few calls and see if I can move some things around. You know you're going, but look busy for goodness sakes. You understand? So you just hang up, just wait, do something else. You don't have to check anything. You just call them back. Okay, I moved a couple things around. What's the address of your brother? They're like 529. Okay, so they're down the street from this one. Okay. I'm not going to meet you at the property. I'll meet you at your brother's place because you want to go have a little chit chat with them first, yes? So I'll meet you at your brother's place around 12 o'clock. And they go, okay. Then you go, okay, so I'm not putting them at the bottom. I'm putting them here, a few down, a few up from the bottom. But I can do a couple more things. My second thing on my to-do list is I got to show those houses. So I got to phone these 3 offices and book them for the times, and then I'm done waiting for feedback, yes? I'm waiting for the call back, the confirmations. I can do that and that and that, and then I'll go show that. I'm not saying you would never make exceptions, but for time management, you gotta stop dropping and going all the time. You understand that? It's weird for them and bad for time management. You know what loves dropping and going? Flexible schedule. Flexible schedule loves dropping and going, because you know what? Because that's flexible, yes? You know what flexible schedule doesn't like? Here's my 8 things starting at 11. Check, 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 check. You understand that? That's the opposite to flexible schedule. That is structure. Yeah? Okay. So that's the third major point. I'll give you another couple more ideas and then we'll wrap it up. So write down, the more structure I work, the better for time management, obviously. The more structure I work, the better for time management. So if you think about our program, for those of you, you're all sitting in the same seat, so there's like almost all of you came to all 12.
Sorry, can you repeat again?
No, that's it. The more structure I work, the better my time management. Yeah. So most of you are here for all 12 classes, which is excellent. So if you look at our program, although we dabble into the psychology of things more than anybody else by a long shot, as far as other coaching companies, by a long shot actually. And so, but we also teach a lot of structure. So if you think about it, you don't have to write any of this down, but just listen. If you think about the things we teach and you adhere them, which you wouldn't be able to if you hold on to flexible schedule. So unfortunately, if you hold on to flexible schedule, all the things I taught you will have very little impact, the structure things. The mindset stuff will be beneficial because that's not structure related. But anything structure related would be the opponent of flexible schedule. You guys understand that? So you have to let go of that to implement that. So if you think about the things we teach, it's structure. You know that 1 in 4 leads works out. So you know that if you want to do 20 deals, you need 6 leads a month. You want to do 25 deals, you need 8 leads a month. You want to do 30, you need 10, 40, 13, 50, 17. And this year in Toronto, or half our clients are in Toronto, really challenging year for realtors, yes? Yes?
Yes.
But the numbers are still stacking up. The system holds up. It works in all markets. So our clients are, their tracking system right now, as of this morning, it's 3.96 leads per deal. That's about as close you're going to get to 4. It never really leaves the number of 4. That's a structure. You need to get focused on, I need 6 leads a month, 6 leads a month, 6 leads a month, or 8, 8, 8, 10, 10, 10, whatever. There's 6 pillars, you work 3 of them, yes? Yeah? Yes or no? Yes. That's a structure. Your database, you break it into 11 pieces, called each week 111th, 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 111th. Otherwise, if you print off your database, you'll call your favorites. Everybody would do that. I would do that. There's anybody that wouldn't do that. So if you print off 200 people, you say, I'm going to call this in the next 90 days, you would start with your favorites, yes? Which is fine for the first 3 weeks. Then you don't finish. I would do that. We'd all do that. 111th, 111th, 111th solves that. You go on a listing presentation, they have 6 questions, yes?
Yeah.
Just answer them. They want to know why they should go with you, why your company, what are you going to do, what are you going to charge me, what's my home worth, what's happening out there. Answer the 6 questions. That's structure. Easy. Your pillars give you leads. Call the hot ones Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Call the warm ones Monday. Yeah? All of the structures we teach, the more than that you implement, then the better you're going to be at time management. We want you to make all of your calls and door knocking within your pillars Monday to Friday, 9 to 11. If you just adhere to all the structures, you'll be better at time management. However, as kind of my last comment, if you hold on to one of the 2 core beliefs that you brought into real estate, to have a flexible schedule, you're never going to be able to implement them. You'll probably never have the career that you want to have. And it causes 80% of realtors to fail. But if you can let go of the core belief of flexible schedule and start telling your brain that you wake up at this day, at this time, alive, excited, and full of energy, and you're a time management wizard, then the core belief protects the core belief of time management and structure as much as it's protecting the flexible schedule right now. And that's it. So just in closing here, so listen, I just want you guys to know that I really enjoyed coming up here, and for lots of reasons. I was saying to a few that were here this morning, we coach a bunch of downtown offices. I like the people, but I don't enjoy going down there once a month. It takes longer to get there than it does take to get to my cottage. It's gonna be 2 hours to get right downtown for our downtown offices that we do, but I still have to go there. Here, it's such a wonderful drive from Ajax to here. 407, 404, it's beautiful. I saw a deer this morning. It's wonderful, actually. I enjoy coming here, and I think you guys are awesome people. I appreciate the bunch of you, because at least 50 or more have called me multiple times over the course of the year to help you with stuff. So you guys are wonderful people. I enjoyed coming here. I appreciate you guys in committing your time here to learn, and I hope you guys have amazing success from here forward. So thank you very much for your time. Have an awesome day. Thank you. So, you guys okay if we get out of class half an hour early?
Yes.
What question? What really?
Can you email us about your seminar?
Oh, yeah. I know who you are now. So yes, yeah. We're going to start promoting the Extreme Event 9, July 12 and 13. We're going to start promoting that in about another 2-3 weeks, and at that point, we'll reach out to everybody. And you'll be able to. We only have 1,000 seats there, but here's how it works. All of our clients or people that were clients, they get first choice before we go to everybody. So when you hear from us about you could sign up for the event, the 2-day event, you know why it's in July? Does everyone know why? Because sometimes people say to me, why do you do it in July? Because if you come to my event for 2 days, you won't take the whole summer off. You'll only take most of it off, yes? So that's a great time for an event for 2 days. Then you'll just take most of it off. So when you get the email and maybe a little video connected to it, you can know that you're in the group with our clients or previous clients that you get first choice. Because once 1,000 seats are taken, that's it. So when you get that, if you want to come, it comes to you first before it goes to like North America, right? Good question, thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, you can clap if you like.
Whoever did that.
I just want to thank Rob for his 12 weeks. This was a 12-week,
Month.
sorry, 12-month,
Probably your next program.
that you know what, it's coaching. It's coaching. It's different than having like your sessions where you're teaching. It's about changing your mentality, the way you do things on a consistent basis. And we're going to take a little bit of a break from that, although you really shouldn't. Continue what you're doing with Rob. Remember his things. You have everything in your books. You know what he's been telling you.